Good evening, I'm Michael Madimba, your anchor for tonight's edition of Primetime News. Leading tonight's bulletin, President Nangolo Mbumba has welcomed Iran's readiness to assist Namibia's agricultural sector and the newly discovered oil and gas industry. Now, President Mbumba's reception follows a courtesy visit by Iran's ambassador to Namibia, Saeed Ali Sharifi Sadati, at State House on Wednesday. Primetime News correspondent Linia Dishena brings us our lead story.
Sadati said, food security for a country with a population of 3 million people is not a challenging task, noting the two countries share similar weather conditions which are considered arid and semi-arid in the world. Therefore, they can find an amicable solution.
The issue of dams, especially air dams, in northern areas, the soil is different from the central region and the southern region. The southern region has rocky area, and the area where water can collect, once it is collected, it's almost like it is on a cement floor, but it's a rock. But in the north, it's a very sandy area, and that is where we may need assistance in terms of water infrastructure.
President Mbumba on May 22, 2024 declared a state of emergency on account of drought nationally under Article 26(1) of the Namibian Constitution and the Disaster Risk Management Act. Sylvia Shandali reporting for Primetime News.
Still with the presidency, President Nangolo Mbumba has urged all eligible Namibians to register for their voter cards for the upcoming general and presidential elections. The Electoral Commission of Namibia, or ECN, will conduct the nationwide registration of voters from June the 3rd to August the 1st, 2024. The Commission aims to register 1,731,790 eligible Namibians as voters. Once again, Primetime News correspondent Linia Tishena brings us this report.
Next week, we start already registration of voters, and we want everybody to vote, to register first, to make sure that everybody who has a chance to register and is a Namibian over the age of 18, they register. And when the 28th of November comes, all of us must have opportunity and privilege to vote.
Mbumba made the call during a courtesy visit by Iran's ambassador to Namibia, Saeed Ali Sharifi Sadati, at State House. Sylvia Shandali reporting for Primetime News.
Turning our attention to the Oshikoto region, where concerned residents have proposed the establishment of a new region comprising parts of the Oshana, Oangwena and Oshikoto regions, saying this would increase service delivery to inhabitants. Now, the group submitted their proposal during the 5th Boundaries Delimitation and Demarcation Commission meeting held at Omuthia on Tuesday. Residents have suggested the name Oshikoto West for the proposed region. Our reporter in the Oshikoto region brings us this report.
Spokesperson of the concerned residents, Aktofel Uhulu, indicated that the creation of such a region would benefit Ondangwa because it has a large population and has grown over the years to become a central point for many daily needs. Uhulu said Ondangwa is fully developed with almost all urban infrastructure and a number of unutilized government buildings, which could be the regional headquarters for the suggested Oshikoto West region. The proposal outlined that the new region could consist of the Onayena, Olukonda, and Onipa constituencies in Oshikoto region, as well as the Omulonga and Southwest Enana constituencies of Ohangwena region. Sylvia Shandali reporting for Primetime News.
Now, in what is expected to be a landmark election result, ballot counting was underway today after South Africans queued long into the night to vote in a watershed election, with partial results suggesting the ANC could lose its 30-year-old unchallenged majority. Counting began in each voting station shortly after polls closed, and some seaters long after the planned 9 p.m. Wednesday shutdown, with long queues of voters snaking into the night. Konjeni Ambinga brings us more details.
The final result is not expected to be known before the weekend, but observers will scour turnout figures and partial results to predict whether the ruling African National Congress or ANC party has finally lost its overall parliamentary majority. If President Cyril Ramaphosa's party drops below 50% for the first time since it came into power in 1994 in South Africa's first democratic post-apartheid election, it will force him to seek coalition partners if he is to be re-elected by Parliament to form a new government. The Independent Electoral Commission said a last-minute rush in urban voting and high turnout were to blame for Wednesday's late finish. But many voters complained at polling stations that the 3-ballot system was too complex. Opinion polls suggest the ANC could win as little as 40% of the vote, down from 57% in 2019, but no opposition party is expected to break the 25% forecast for Steenhuisen's centre-right DA. If the ANC outperforms the predictions and get close to 50%, it could shore up a majority by allying itself with some of the 4 dozen smaller and regional parties contesting the election. Sheila Perestrella reporting for Primetime News.
Stay tuned for your top roundup with the business segment thereafter. Welcome to the Primetime Biz segment, the slot dedicated to all things business and economics. We commence with news from the recently held Omaluti Agricultural Festival, where Vice President Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah held the Omaluti Agricultural Festival, saying the festival promotes tourism by attracting travelers and visitors from near and far. Primetime News producer Lita Pitiri brings us this captivating visuals.
The theme is underscoring the importance of tourism in the economic development. And the Okongo Village Council is inviting investors to invest in the tourism sector of our economy within the Okongo Village Council Center and the surroundings. There could be no other place for those who love nature to invest in the surroundings of Okongo Village Council and Okongo constituency as a whole. Director of Ceremony, this festival also promotes tourism by attracting travelers and visitors from near and far, and provides an opportunity to our farmers to showcase their agricultural product, including horticultural product, livestock, and others. In so doing, the festival stimulates agricultural production and facilitates the marketing of agricultural produce.
Staying atop the Omaluti Agricultural Festival, Managing Director of the Rani Group of Companies, Ali Darani, has revealed that the company will construct a multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art structure in Okongo at a cost of 20 million Namibian dollars in the next 12 months. Darani was speaking during the Omaluti Agricultural Festival in Okongo on Wednesday, saying they have already secured land last year to construct their wholesaler. Once again, Lita Pitiri brings us the visuals.
Rani Group will open its cash and carry here in Okongo with the investment of approximately 20 million Namibian dollars. This will create approximately 80 jobs in the time of construction and development, and once it's fully fledged, it will create approximately 100 jobs in the group. Let me also promise you that all the 100 jobs, our requirement for the application for the job will be that you have to be the resident of Okongo Village Council. I would just like to mention that 70% of the goods that are sold in our shops are produced and purchased in Namibia. And the balance, it is coming from the outside. We, I think, the only group or only few of the group that have that policy in-house, that if it's a produced product in Namibia, we give them the first preference to be on our shelf. And we will keep doing that. And we promise, if we open the shop here in Okongo, farmers will be able to come and sell their product at our shops at a discounted prices, and they will be given the shelf space for free.
This is where the top segment concludes for tonight. Up next is the countrywide weather forecast, followed by a roundup of the latest economic news. Welcome Sport Planet, the segment dedicated to all things sport in action. We commence with para-athletics. The Namibia Power Corporation, or NamPower, has once again shown its support for disability sport in Namibia and pledged continued backing for the organization. Now, in a demonstration of their commitment, NamPower handed over a check of 500,000 Namibian dollars to disability sport during a courtesy visit earlier this week. During the visit, Namibia Paralympic Committee, through Disability Sport Namibia, presented NamPower with the medals won by T11 400-meter world champion Chris Kinder and his guide Calvin Gorgasip at the just-ended Kobe International Paralympic Committee World Para-Athletics Championships. Addressing the athletes, NamPower Managing Director Simpson Haulofo expressed the organization's pride in the achievements of para-athletes and their commitment to supporting disability sport in Namibia. On to European football news. Jude Bellingham's first year at Real Madrid started in unbelievable fashion amid a whirlwind of goals, but the ending could be more incredible still. With the Spanish title in the bag, Madrid are aiming for a fifth La Liga and Champions League double against the England international's former team Borussia Dortmund in Saturday's Wembley final. At such a big game, my first Champions League final, back home in England against my old team. As a crazy one, I couldn't have dreamed it any better, Bellingham told reporters this week. The 20-year-old midfielder was voted La Liga's player of the season on Wednesday. Bellingham scored 19 league goals and 4 in Europe on the way to the final. Stay tuned for your sports roundup. That's it for Thursday's Primetime News edition. Make a date with me tomorrow, same time, for this week's final edition of Primetime News. Remember to follow the on-screen prompts and subscribe to the Nampa TV platform to stay updated on developments shaping the world. From myself, Michael Medimba, and the energetic production team behind the scenes, it's good night.